What is up, you guys? It's finally time for a solo episode with old LGM. I do want to say I just watched the Alex Cooper Call Her Alex documentary last night, so immediately I just feel like I need to go. What is up, Daddy Gang? It's your founding father, Alex Cooper, because it obviously talks about that a million times. So, anyways, it's your personality pool founder, LG. And this is something that I've wanted to do for a while, but why is it so hard for me, the person that loves to talk more than anything in this world, to sit down and record this just talking to you guys? I'm not sure, but we're going to do it today cuz I have got, as always, a lot to say. So, let's start off with some high point updates from old Personality Pool Inc., also known as my house. We have officially relaunched Personality Pool with the features that we have so desperately wanted to add for months now. We got it done, guys. It's out in the world. So for the first time ever, when you are reviewing your candidates through the Personality Pool dashboard, you are getting sentiment analysis. You are getting Big Five personality scores. You are getting supporting transcripts from the video. You are getting so much. All of that and more, which is something that we've been trying to add for a while. We knew that people being able to review their candidates through video was amazing and they were loving it, but we needed to add some more meat to what you get from those videos. And we did it, and it is live. So now is definitely the time. If you have been on the fence about trying Personality Pool, you need to do it now. There's never been a better time. We also launched a forever free plan. So we used to have a free trial for 14 days, and now you can sign up for the free plan, which is you get one job posting, one user seat, 10 candidates for free. So, guys, I don't know what you're waiting for, but go create an account today. So, getting us across the finish line for the new additions to the platform. Your girl is a tech founder who's not super techie. And that's okay because I've surrounded myself with the right people, but it can be a struggle. It can be a struggle. There's like a communication barrier between tech people and non-tech people. If you know, you know. But I'm very thankful that the people that work with me love me and dealt with me through this process, allowed me to take all the crazy thoughts in my brain and they went nuts, made it real. And I've never been more proud of the platform than I am right at this very moment. And that's been a high point for us. I will say, during this time when we've been adding all the new features, we sort of pumped the brakes on sales. And I am a girl that is good at sales. I love the sales aspect of what we do, and that's my strong suit. And so those several months where we were just product, improve and make sure the current customers that we have are happy, that we've got this strong foundation. Your girl was dying. Being in the technical weeds was very hard for me. I learned so much, and well, let's just say I hope it's a hot minute before I have to step out of sales again and go back into that phase. But we have brought some new teammates on that are far more qualified to be the technical leader. And so, yeah, it all worked out in the end. And it's always good to stretch yourself as the founder, you know? So, and even if you don't want to be stretched, you're going to get stretched. However, during this time where I wasn't able to be fully operating in my gifts, I started to spiral a little bit. And I'm still spiraling, sort of. I'm definitely stabilizing, but it's so interesting how, for me, and it was like this early on in my entrepreneurial journey. It's still like this now, 10 plus years in. Whenever we are making a change, or maybe we've not made the change yet, but we know we need to make the change, I have this intense, restless feeling down in my soul that something's not right. Something's not right. Either I'm not leaning into something that I need to be leaning into, or something's missing, okay? And I haven't identified it yet. It's the same feeling every time, and it always happens before a big breakthrough. So I have learned, instead of fully spiraling, to allow myself to spiral a bit, but then to remember, okay, this means that we are about to be on to something good, on to the next. And what is the thing that we're on to next? I don't know yet. And that's why I say that I'm still semi spiraling, but spiraling with a smile instead of a nervous breakdown. I think that I know I think if I'm being honest, I know what things are causing this restlessness. It's just getting me to slow down long enough to really like put my brain power into those areas, which I've done over the last couple of days. And what I think that I have pinpointed for me is that if I am not putting out content for the business, for me personally, that feels super, super authentic, I am just not a happy person. Everything that we put out matters to me. Even the so-called like filler posts, those matter to me. And I know that at the stage that we're in, it's revenue, customers. That is the most important. And so that is where almost all of my focus goes. But as a former marketer and a brand girl, I can get down into the weeds of the brand. And although I know all of my investors and mentors remind me that brand is important, but it's not the most important right now, because if you have more customers and more money, then you can focus more on the brand. But it's hard for me because for me, sales and brand go hand in hand. And I think for everybody to an extent, they go hand in hand. But like, I have got to figure out what's authentic to us. For example, let's just talk about LinkedIn content. I'm going to be real with you here. I hate LinkedIn. With all of my heart, I have tried to look at it through a positive lens. And I'm a positive girl, so I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here. I'm just saying, Lauren, do not like LinkedIn. Here's what I don't like about it. I love ChatGPT down into my bones, okay? I don't use it for everything because I don't want to become a person that can't use their brain. But I'm using it, okay? Our business we have AI literally in our business. So I am a fan of AI. I am just not a fan of using AI to write your social post, your LinkedIn post. Sends a shiver down my spine, and not in a good way. When I'm looking at all of these posts that look exactly the same, down to the dash, comma placement, sentence structure, it literally makes me want to chuck my computer across the room. Not to be dramatic. Hate it. I think LinkedIn has become this place that is full of people that are thought leaders that aren't even leading with their own thoughts anymore. And it's so obvious. And so I think for me, I feel like one of my gifts is to be able to feel if something is authentic or not. And there are some creators on there that I can tell, like, okay, this feels authentic. I like this. But 98% of content I see on there, I know is generated from a ChatGPT prompt, and I can't take it anymore. And I don't know where we fit into that. I don't know where I fit into that. So I started the podcast, and being able to share clips of other people giving advice and wisdom from their own brains, real time, that's felt good to me. I have enjoyed that. Is it scalable for us right now to have this podcast? Just based on the type of guests that we're looking for, we've tried to keep it like super hiring focused. I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out if there's a balance between, does everything have to be completely focused on hiring to like point back to personality pool, or can I open up what we're talking about a bit more? And so I'm kind of teetering back and forth with that, because I have a company that focuses on hiring great candidates, but it also focuses on letting people be themselves, use their personalities to leverage, getting a job and finding success in life. And so just, if I'm being transparent, just sitting and talking about hiring for every single episode was not that fun for me. It was fun because I liked the people I was talking to, but I'm like, I feel like this isn't necessarily 100% me. Personality pool is a piece of me when it comes to business, but it's not everything I care about with like entrepreneurship. So yeah, trying to find that balance of, if I have to be some sort of a thought leader, because I think being a content creator, thought leader, whatever you want to call it, is like synonymous with being a founder. It helps you with sales. And I know the positives of LinkedIn. I know it is great for, finding new clients and becoming a trusted voice in whatever space that you work on. So hear me when I say I understand the benefits of LinkedIn and why people do what they do. I just can't do it. I can't. So that's one thing I'm wrestling with right now that I think is really giving that sense of restlessness, is that I haven't quite been able to put a pin in what it is that I want to be known for when it comes to content, but I do enjoy creating content. I think Personality Pool is the perfect company to be a content company. So it's just figuring out what feels authentic and what feels good, because I don't want to perpetuate what it is that I can't stand about LinkedIn and social media in general. Talk about first world problems, truly. To rant about LinkedIn, what a privilege that that's something that keeps me up at night. Not that there's not many other true life things that keep me up at night at times, but that's my rant on LinkedIn. So now I want to talk about another pain point that I'm facing, and that is customer acquisition and marketing when your budget is this big. And if you're not watching the clip, just know I'm making like a little tiny space with my fingers, because our marketing and sales budget is basically non-existent. And that's okay, because I don't think that you have to have a huge budget to acquire your first base of strong customers. Our first base of strong customers all came from, very gritty salesmanship, if that's even a word, and then warm introductions for there. And so that's how we got our base. That's how we started getting traction and proved that there was a place for us, or a place that needed us in the market, all of that stuff. But now I'm getting to the point where we have really got to ramp up customer acquisition. So after I just went and ran it all and on about LinkedIn, I know that is one place where I can do that. And I am trying, and I'm going to keep trying. But I know there's more than just that. And so what we've been really trying to hit home over the last week is cold outreach. And this has worked for us in the past. It's just such a numbers game. You have to send out so many emails. And here we go again with the authenticity. Nothing infuriates me more than getting a cold email that is just so generic and not relevant to me at all. Like, it makes me irrationally angry. You guys are all going to think I have anger issues. I really don't, but I don't want to be that person in somebody's inbox. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, we can use some AI tools to kind of like help get me started on what would be a good strategy to use for reach out. And here I am with ChatGPT. I'm like, less buzzwords, make it sound less corny, make it sound like a computer didn't write it. And then I'm like, bro, you're the computer. Like, you're going to be the only thing that's the computer that didn't write it. So get your brain firing back up. And so the push and pull of trying to figure out what makes a good cold outreach email is absolutely maddening. But on the plus side, it's really exciting when you find something, when you put something together and you just have that feeling like, okay, this is interesting. This looks different. This would definitely make me take a second look. And so, as infuriating and tough as it is so fulfilling when you find that formula that you think is going to work. And so, I have found a formula that I think is going to work. I started using it a couple of days ago. So, we'll see. I'm going to give it a few weeks and see what the response rate is, and then I'll report back if this was actually a decent formula that's going to work. But yeah, I'm hitting cold outreach as hard as I can, and then, of course, referrals through our current customers. That obviously a referral is the best way to get business, but would love to hear any other ideas, what other people are doing to get customers, because I also have not had luck at trade shows, and they're so expensive that I'm like, you know what? Until we have the disposable, air quotes, income to just ball out on a booth, I'm not going to be going to another trade show. I may attend, but you're not going to catch Personality Pool with a tiny display at a trade show, because it just didn't work for us. But you may see me there networking, of course. But when you do see Personality Pool roll back out on the trade show circuit, you better just buckle up, because we're going to be going all the way. You're going to know that we have hit some pinnacle of success that we determined when you see us back out on the trade show circuit. And I'm excited for that. I think trade shows are good just for brand awareness and recognition, and a fun place and way to bring your brand to life. So I am really excited for like more experiential marketing, but we're kicking that can down the road. That's not where we are now. So we're trying other tactics. I do have a thought. I am going to New York City mid-July with family for a birthday trip, not for me, but for somebody else. And I'm going down a day early by myself just to, I don't know, New York makes me feel very creative. I have a lot of good ideas there. As a matter of fact, I had the idea for Personality Pool in the JFK airport after seeing a billboard for BetterHelp I could go more into how all that goes together. But I think I just feel extremely creative in New York. So I'm going down a day early just to be and just to see what comes my way. And there's a list of restaurants that are based in New York City that I think would be really good customers for us. And so I'm thinking about putting something together and just going to all the headquarters that if I can get into them, and dropping something off. So I'm trying to think of ways to maximize that time there. Like, how can I try to get to these places that I want to work with and just let them know I exist? So stay tuned. I'll probably try to vlog that if I do that. I just have to figure out what exactly it is I'm going to do. Because as much as I know cold outreach and content creation definitely works, and I'm going to keep doing that, I want to find something that's just like a little bit different, that I can physically get out from behind my computer and get out into the world and meet people and maybe do something or provide something that makes them be like, oh, that's interesting. Nobody's ever done that before when trying to reach out to us. So again, it's all about the originality and authenticity for me. And, it's just hard to, I know it's going to come to me, but that is the restlessness that I'm experiencing right now in a nutshell. So I want to touch back on what I started this episode with, which is we finally relaunched, air quotes, Personality Pool with all the new features that we've been working on. So this is kind of funny. And this was like so classic founder, right? You spend all of your time sitting at your desk, sitting at your computer, working. I'm at that phase again, which is exciting because I'm feeling super inspired about what we're doing, where it's really hard for me to leave my computer because I'm actually really excited to be working. And so it was my mom's birthday last weekend. We launched a few days prior to this trip that we have planned to go to the beach just for 3 days to celebrate my mom's birthday. So I had been just grinding it out, trying to make sure that when I stepped away for these only 2 work days, that everything would be great. So I think I've got everything prepared. Like, we're good. Let's go on a trip. We get there. I don't even have my feet hardly planted in the sand when I get a message that we had a new customer sign up and something's not working for them. I'm like, what do you mean something's not working? We pressure tested everything. I tested everything. The developers tested everything. We have one of our customers that we really trust test everything. What do you mean something is broken? Yeah, something's broken. So here I go. I'm sitting in my beach chair. I'm on the phone. I'm talking to our developers who are in Croatia, who are amazing. Something's broken. SOS. We can't lose this customer. Literally, we just did all this stuff. We're excited. We're launching. Boom, boom, boom. Somebody signs up. Boom. Broke. So what do? I go into literal panic mode. I'm emailing the customer. But here's the lesson in that. So I emailed the customer. She wasn't happy. I'm going to say she wasn't thrilled that they were having problems. But I was super honest with her. I was like, hey, we just launched this 3 days ago. We pressure tested everything. Somehow we didn't catch this. How can I make this up to you? I'm going to give you 3 months free. I want you to try it. I want to make this right. I'll be your main point of contact. Gave her my cell phone number, gave everything. Was just super honest about, hey, we're a startup. We missed this somehow. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. How can I make it right? She was so kind from that point on. I think there's just like something to be said about being, again, is the title of this episode going to be something about authenticity? But just being real with your customers. That has taken us so far. Just being extremely open with your users will take you so far. And that is what I'm learning. And so all that to say, the developers got it fixed super fast. They're happy. We're happy to have them. And that is just a lesson on no matter how big we get, I always want to figure out how, even in our customer service, that we have good personalities, that we are very authentic, that we're honest. I just think that goes so far with people. I don't want all these generic responses to go out to people. Like, if you, out of all the platforms that you could have selected to use to screen your candidates, you chose us. That means so much to us. And whether we have 10 customers, 100 customers, or 1,000,000 customers, I want to find a way to always let that shine through, because I think it just really creates lasting fans and evangelists of your brand. And that's what I've learned. But that just is a thing that happens. Things break when they launch. Be honest about it. But let me tell you, it never fails that if I am going to step away from my computer and go on a break, something's going to break down. The wheels are absolutely going to fall off. It doesn't matter how solid the wheels have been up to that point. If I leave from right here, all hell's going to break loose. But yeah, if you're wondering what all has been going through my mind recently as a founder, everything that I've said, that's pretty much what's on repeat up in this brain. So I hope that if you are on this journey of trying to start something, that maybe something will resonate with you, make you feel less alone, or just give you a good laugh, because if nothing else, we will have something to laugh about. I'm really excited about everything that's coming up with Personality Pool. Really thankful for everybody who supports us. And just know that we are really, really couldn't do this. I couldn't laugh about this. I couldn't take these lessons and make them into interesting stories if I didn't have wonderful people supporting me. And so if you're one of our supporters and you hear this, just know that I love you so much. And until next time.